Hey guys, Yashas Joshi here, and welcome to GirlSET' 2020 Game Development Workshop. Today we'll be recreating a game similar to Super Mario Bros. And we'll call it Super Sparty Bros. Okay, so let's get on to it. So first off, I want you to open the Unity Hub that you downloaded previously before the session. Alright, so here's the hub. What hub is useful for is to organize all the Unity installs that you might have on the system, all the different versions of Unity, and to better organize your projects with all these Unity versions. Alright, so let's get on to our new project. So click on the arrow right next to the new, and select the latest version that you just downloaded. In the templates, you have to select 3D and name your project to be Super Sparty Bros. Okay, and also you can select the place or location of the project where you want to save it. You can browse here and select the folder. I'm just going to save it here, and you can press create. So while this is creating a new project, I want you guys to download some of the assets that we'll be using for the development process. So open any of your browsers and just copy and paste the link that I'll be sending you on Zoom chat right about now. Alright, so here as you can see, it will redirect you to this Google Drive folder, where you will be able to see the two different packages that we're going to be using it today. So you just press on these download arrows on the top left, and wait for it to download. I have already downloaded both the files, so I'm just canceling this download. So here are the two files that I see here that you can download from here. I have already downloaded the files, and I'm going to use these files in our Unity project. Okay, so this is Unity. If you're opening it for the first time, you might be having something like this, but today we'll be working on a different layout. So you just click on default on the right top and select 2x3. So now you'll get this layout. Just a second. Alright, there is a cursor. Alright, you are able to see my cursor. Perfect. Also in the project panel, you just click on these three dots and select one column layout. Alright, so it's a simple and very basic introduction to the Unity game engine. This is a game engine which is used to create games. On the top left here we have our scene window, where we will be manipulating with all our game objects or different things, just like camera. I'm able to move and reposition it based on where I want it. So you can do that with all the other game objects. That's the scene view. This is hierarchy. Hierarchy will display all the game objects that are inside your current scene. So what a current scene is, maybe it can be described as one level of your game, or maybe like a main menu, or any small part of the game is a scene, and hierarchy describes all the game objects that's inside your current scene, the scene that you have opened right now. So for me, it's a sample scene that is here in the project folder, in the project panel, assets, scene, sample scene. So what project panel shows you is everything that you can use to create the game, and you can import it to the scene from project. So everything you can import from project to scene will be displayed in the project panel. And in the inspector panel, you can edit all the attributes to different components of any particular game object. And finally we have the game view. Game view is the preview of your game, which shows like how your game might look once you finish the development. Alright, so let's begin with the game. So just click on assets on left top, and import package and custom package. So once you open the custom package, it's gonna open a new pop-up where you'll have to navigate to the place where you downloaded the 2 files, and select one of the files, open it, and it's gonna decompress everything that's inside that file. So as you can see here, there's a lot of files inside that one file. So it's basically a compressed file which contains all the other smaller files which we'll be using while making the game today. So let's click on import and wait for it to import all the assets in our game, in our Unity project, I mean. Sorry. Okay, so as you can see, the Unity has already imported all the assets. Now let's go ahead and do the same for another file that we downloaded. Assets UI. Click import and wait for it to import all the assets again. So yeah, everything is imported in our scene, and if you can see here in the scene folder, we have our sample scene. So let's create one of the levels, the main level for our game. To do that, I would recommend shifting your view from 2D and from 3D to 2D. So just click on 2D right here on the top left. Alright, now I have created a separate ground for you. Okay, before importing anything else, click on the layers drop down and on top right, and click on edit layers. Expand the layers tab and exactly copy all these layers. Ground, coins, enemy, player, platform, stunned enemy. Stunned enemy. Okay, so these layers are actually case sensitive, so make sure you type exactly what I wrote here, and make sure the E in the enemy, the first E in the enemy, stunned enemy, is capital. Okay, so once you've added all the layers, it's time to create our first level. Expand the prefabs folder, and inside that expand the haunted folder, and you see the basic ground here. So you just drag and drop the basic ground from the projects panel to hierarchy panel. Alright, so we have our basic ground right here. You can see it in the scene. You can select this tool to navigate the scene view, and you can see how the preview is going to look. The camera is not positioned correctly, so let's do that right now. Main camera, select this tool, and yep, this is perfect. Also, it's a perspective view, that's why it's looking a bit weird. So what you have to do is, in camera, in inspector, you see the projection, it's perspective, so you just click on drop down and select orthographic. Now as you can see, it's pretty okay. I mean, it's better. Now everything is in 2D, and you can see a better scene, better game view here. So instead of free aspect, you might want to click the drop down menu of the free in the game panel, and click on the add button, and select the type as aspect ratio. Under the type aspect ratio, and type 10:5 and press OK. Since I've already added one, I'm going to cancel it and select that. So as you can see here in the game view, it has already trimmed off some of the parts from both ends, and it is maintaining 10:5 aspect ratio. So let me adjust the position of our camera. Okay, this looks perfect. Alright, so we have our basic ground. Let's add some platforms to it. So let me add a long platform right about here. Let me add another long platform right about here. Yep, this is good. And some smaller platforms. And a moving platform. Okay, so what moving platform is? The moving platform will go from one place to another and keep traveling back and forth between the 2 points for forever, basically. So if you in the hierarchy view, if you expand the moving platform, you will be able to see P1 and P2. So P1 is here and P2 is here. So what this says is the moving platform is going to go from this place to this place. It's going to move from here to here and back again. So it's going to go back and forth from P1 to P2. Okay, so I think that's good. So we have our basic scene ready. Let's play and see how it works. So yeah, as you can see in the game view, it works perfectly fine. Now let's add our player. Yeah, so if you go inside the prefabs folder, there is a Sparty. So this is our player, and you just drag and drop into our scene right about here. So he's Sparty, and he is our player. So we have to change the layer for Sparty as player instead of ground. So in the inspector panel, on the right top, there is a layer drop down. You select player here and select yes and apply to all the children's as well. So that is done. And you also have to do one more thing here. You have to go down to character controller 2D and see what is ground. Now in what is ground, let's see what is there. It's set as coins and enemies. So you just unselect these, and now that nothing is selected, you select ground, since ground is ground basically. Now if you see that all the moving platforms and the basic ground is essentially ground for our player, right? It's not like when he's walking here, Sparty is considering it to be ground, and when he's walking here, it's considering it to be like some sort of other space. It is ground. So let's select all the moving platforms and our ground, and change the layer in the inspector panel to ground. Yes to all children. So now we have our ground, and everything is almost ready. Let's better organize these things in our hierarchy to not clutter up. So right click in the hierarchy and create an empty game object. Name it environment. And inside that, create one more empty game object and name it ground. Select all our ground components and drag and drop into the ground, so it looks better, and Sparty inside the environment. Alright, I need you to create 2 more empty objects inside the game folder by right clicking here and selecting empty game object, and renaming them to be enemies and coins. Enemies and coins. That's perfect. So this was our first milestone of our project. Let me just save the scene right here. Let me call it milestone 1. Yes, reload please, thanks. Okay, so I'm going to build upon milestone 1, so I just copy and paste the same thing. Okay, so milestone 2. Let's work on milestone 2. So we have enemies and coins. Let's add some coins. So open prefab folder again, and in the prefab folder you will see coin idle. So just drag and drop it on this folder and put it inside. So wherever you want to place the coins, just place it and duplicate them. I like a lot of targets, so I'm just going to duplicate a lot of coins. Wait, yeah. Okay. I'll add okay, so this is good for one platform. Now let me do this for another platform. Duplicate. You can duplicate by right clicking and selecting duplicate. Okay, so let me just duplicate these right here. I'll duplicate all these coins, duplicate, and place it right about here. Let me bring them a bit closer. Yeah, I think this is good. Duplicate and place it right in the center. Okay, so we have our simple game, simple scene with coins. Now let's add some enemies. If you go to the prefabs folder, you will see moving enemies. So you just drag and drop moving enemy inside our enemies folder. Moving enemy is also like moving platform. So you select the position of P1 and the position of P2, and the enemy just goes back and forth between the two positions. So let's say P1 is here. Let me zoom in and see if it's okay. Yep, this is good. P1 is here and P2 is right about here. Perfect. So our first enemy is set up, and let me close this and make another enemy. Duplicate. Yep, I'll keep this enemy right about here for another platform. Where's the P2 for this? Yep, this is perfect. Okay, so both the enemies are set, coins are set. So now we have to define that enemies are actually enemies. So you need to tag them. So click on enemies and click on layer and yeah, select enemy and yes to all children. Do the same for coins and select coin. Yes. Alright, so we have our basic game, and this is our milestone 2. Let me create another milestone. Milestone 3. So I'll be developing on milestone 3 now. What's the time? Perfect. So we have our 3 milestones, and from now we just need a victory symbol for our player, because how the game is going to know that player has actually finished the level. Once all the coins are collected, player can just move around in this level and it will go on forever. But we have to somehow define that the level is actually over. So for that I'm just going to go in prefab and drag and drop this victory symbol right on this environment tab, and position this right around here maybe. Yeah, this looks good. So okay, whenever the party goes and collects this cross, the game assumes that the level is done. Okay, now that we have our basic game ready, we need some UI to display the score and high score and level or remaining lives. Alright, so for that just right click on hierarchy, click on UI and canvas. So there we have our canvas, and inside this canvas inspector go to canvas scaler and drop down this UI scale mode and select scale with screen size. Now that your canvas is ready, right click on canvas and select UI and select text. Rename this to be score and duplicate this and rename this to be high score, and duplicate both of these and rename them level and lives. Okay, so we have four UI objects. We also need one more, so we'll right click and create text and rename it to be paused. In the paused, while you have selected pause, go to inspector and edit the text here as PAUSED, paused. And for all of these, we need to use a different font. So select all five, and in the inspector panel, go to font, and just click on the small concentric circle right next to this option, and select these fonts or whatever fonts you want. All right, and yeah, for these, let's reposition these five in our scene. I'm select this tool. Yeah, here. So this is our canvas, which will be overlaid on our main screen while playing the game. So let me reposition these two right around here. High score a bit lower than this. Levels and lives on the other corner. Lives a bit lower. Yeah, this is perfect. So we have our simple UI ready, and let me increase the size of paused. So go to paused, inspector, inside the text, font size, change from 14 to 40. It disappeared because it exceeded the bounds which it should not have. So select all the five texts and in the inspector panel, go to horizontal overflow and open the drop down and select overflow, and do the same for vertical overflow. Alright, so here we have it. We have everything ready, and yeah, we are good to go, but the text still won't appear to be updated, since it's simple text. We are not changing anything, or we are not telling the game to update it. For that, we'll have to create a game manager. So right click on the hierarchy panel and create empty game object. Rename it game manager. And in the inspector panel, just click on add component and select and the type game manager. So you will get this game manager option with this little gear icon. Select that, and you have added the game manager. Now it's asking for 5 different attributes. You see UI score, UI high score, level, lives, and post. So what you're going to do is you just drag and drop all these values, all these game objects right where it's supposed to be. Level, lives, paused. Oops, nope, lives, and paused. Yeah, so this is perfect. Okay, this level also, the game manager also asks for the next level to which the player should move. So now let's say this is your first level, you want to create one more level. So what you're going to do is you have just like milestone 1, 2, 3, right? So you will create level 1, level 2, level 3. So this is our level 1. You will create level 2. So after you finish the level 1, I mean once this party reaches the cross in level 1, you want your game to proceed to level 2. So for that, you will have to, let's say this is your level 2, then you will have to just copy the name of your level 2, exactly same, copy, and go to game manager of your level 1 and paste it here, level after victory. Just paste it. So once this party catches this cross, it's going to go to level 1, which is milestone 2, which is this level. And you can do the same for game over. Let me do it like milestone 1. So let's try this out. Finally, we almost have our game ready. So let's try this out. Alright, so we have our game. We have the scores on top. Party is collecting all the coins. And it's playing. So let me try and just go and grab the cross. I just grabbed the cross, and yeah, it's going to move to next level, but it didn't, because we still have to add all the levels in the build settings. Now what this is, to move to any other level from within the game, you will have to add all the all the scenes to build settings. Also, one more thing, the pause button was constantly there. I don't want it there. I want it there only when I pause it or when I press the escape button. So what you can do is click on pause, and in the inspector tab, right beneath the inspector, there is this checkbox. You just uncheck it and it will disappear. Okay, so we have everything, and yeah, we just add go to file and open build settings and add all the levels that you have in your game to build settings right here. That's it. It should work now. Let's try it out. So I just finished the level, and I moved to milestone 2. You see, UI and everything is gone, and if you can see here in the hierarchy, it's milestone 2. So that's how you go to another level. That's how you switch levels. And yeah, you can create your different levels, and you can play with it however you want. Alright, so we have our simple level. Now that we have the levels, we're just going to create a simple UI. Not create, we already have, we already provided you with the simple UI, and you just have to connect it with your game. So let's open this loading scene. So it's just a simple black backdrop title screen, which shows the title of our game and the party logo. So what this scene will do is, if you go on manager, you can see that it will create a delay of 2 seconds. So it will wait for 2 seconds, and then it will proceed to this level, main menu. So if you can see here, main menu, yeah. So this scene will run for 2 seconds, and then it will go to main menu automatically. So what this scene has is, it has all the information about the game. If you click about button, you will be displayed with all the controls and everything else. And while you're playing outside this Unity editor, you will also have this quit button to close the game, and you will have this new game button to proceed to the new game. I mean, to start your first level. For that, let's go ahead and calibrate that. So in the main menu scene, in the hierarchy, open the main menu, and open the menu panel, and click on the start game button. In start game button, in inspector, if you can see here in the button component, it's written level 1 here. So you just need to change this to milestone 3 maybe. Yeah, because my scene is named milestone 3. You have to write whatever your first level's name is. Okay, so I think this is all set up, or this is ready. Milestone 3. So when you click new game, it's going to take you to milestone 3, as in like the first level. Okay, we have almost everything set up. I'm just going to go to my first level and click on game manager, and in here I want my player to move to game win screen when it catches the cross, and when it finishes the first level. So I will just type exactly the same name of my game win scene right over here. And when party loses, I'm going to move to game lose. If you want to create another level 2, so that when party crosses the first cross and it goes to level 2, you just have to create a new level right here and write the exact same name of that level right in this this area. So start lives, what are these? Start lives is the game manager will provide party, your player, with start lives at the with number of lives at the beginning of that level. So 3. So in this level, the player is allowed to die 3 times before the game is finally over. So you can change that from here. You will just have to change both these numbers. So if you want 4 lives initially, you click 4 you write 4 so you'll get 4 lives. And yep, that's it. We have our game, and let's add all these scenes inside our build settings. So file, click on build settings, and select all 4 and drag and drop it right here. Now one more thing you want to consider while doing this setting is you want your first scene, whenever the game is going to be played, whatever the first scene you want to load, to be right on top of this list. So I want to start my game with loading scene, as we discussed earlier, remember? So I will go to load. I will drag the loading screen right on the top of it, top of everything else. So my game will start from this scene, and then it will automatically navigate between all these scenes, and you don't have to worry about anything else. So your game is almost ready. One last thing I would like to suggest is the background is not so. Is okay. It's the default background, right? So you want to change the background. For that, click on Window, Rendering, Light Settings. In Light Settings, you see the skybox material, and you just click this small circle right next to the skybox material, and it will open a pop-up from which you will have to select the new material. So select this skybox, the file that is named skybox, and which looks like this. As you can see, it is much better than what we had before. Let me save this main menu, and yeah, again, let me go to loading and start it from the beginning. So the title screen, our main menu. Let me click to new game. So this is our scene that we just created. I'll collect all the points. One last thing is that this UI, I'm not able to see the UI since it's merging with the black background, with the dark background. Let me go ahead and change that. So I will go to my milestone 3 and go to the canvas, select all the 4 UI elements, and in the inspector panel, in the text component, I will select the color. So I will click on the black that is right here, and drag this circle right on the top of this square, on the left top. I'm making all the fonts white, so now that you see in the game view, it's clearly visible. So let's play. Let me save this, Control S, or you can also save it from here, File, Save, and press play. Always save your work. You don't want to lose anything. Okay, now you can see that the UI is clearly visible, and let's see what happens if I win. I win, and I'm immediately transported to this party's victorious screen, that is game win screen. So this is the final screen. You can add any number of levels you want in between. Alright, so we have the game ready. The final step for us is to build this game. So click on File and click on Build Settings. So we have all the levels all the scenes added right here. Please again make sure that whatever level you want to load very at the very beginning when someone opens up your application has to be on the top of this list. Okay, if not, just drag and drop it on the top. So I'm going to start with the loading scene. That's why my loading scene is on the top. Everything is perfectly arranged, so you just click on build and wait for Unity to do his magic. Okay, and there's going to be one more pop-up which is going to ask you where you want to save your new game. So I'm just going to create a new folder. You can save it wherever you want. I just created the new folder builds, and I'm going to save my build right here. So I'm clicking select folder, and I'm just gonna let Unity do its work. Yeah, so it has build our final version of the game. So let me locate this builds. Yeah, here is the final build of our game. So you can copy this this folder only and paste it into any of your computers so that you can run it without using this Unity software. So your final product, your final game is now ready. You can play by double clicking on this Super Sparty Bros application file, and it's just gonna run as it's supposed to be. You can see all the different menu items: quit game, about, which shows everything. Click on main menu, click on new game, and there we have our first level. Yep, I'm just going to press pause. And yeah, I just need to win this to exit the game. Oh, I just died. Oh, I died again. And I win. Main menu and quit. Okay guys, so that was game development. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.